Hello, fellow Gravity Falls fans. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be psychoanalyzing the crud out of Bill Cipher. I mean, I don't know about you, but I ken this man, and he is my all-time favorite Gravity Falls character. He will always be my favorite Gravity Falls character. He's fantastic. And just like any other character that just so happens to be my favorite, he's also got some genuine issues going on. Just gonna pivot on over to my disclaimer here before we start the video and start delving into this man's psyche. Trigger warnings for mentions of mental illness as well as possible trauma. That's a biggie. I am also not a licensed psychologist. My discussions are based off of my own research and headcanons. They are in no way canon. The mental illnesses I'm going to be discussing are in no way canon to the character unless the creator of said character, in this case Alex Hirsch, gets up and states that Bill Cipher has this mental illness. So I've come to the conclusion myself that Bill Cipher has bipolar disorder, and before I get into that, no, I'm not going to be stereotyping bipolar disorder as this mood swingy, happy then angry at the switch, like at the snap of a finger. No, that's not what bipolar disorder is, and I'm heavily aware of that. And if you, as someone who is suffering from bipolar disorder, sees this and believes that I am stereotyping it in a negative way, please let me know. I will take this video down ASAP. So why do I believe that this man has bipolar disorder? For what we are seeing throughout, like, Weirdmageddon, just mainly when we see him in general, I feel that we're seeing him in this sort of manic state. So, for those of you who don't know what mania is, there's sort of like this mood episode that comes with being bipolar, and it's pretty much like feeling very up, high, elated, irritable, touchy, feeling jumpy or wired. In this manic episode, those with bipolar tend to talk very fast about a lot of different things, which I feel we can definitely see happening with Bill. Thinking that they could do a lot of things at once, feeling like they are unusually important, talented, or powerful, doing risky things that show poor judgment, such as eat or drink excessively, spend or give away a lot of money. And I'm not going to say the last part because I don't want to get demonetized, even though I probably will anyways. If those last ones there don't sum up what Bill Cipher essentially was like during Weirdmageddon, I don't know what to tell you.
Sharp as ever, Fordsy. As you may have noticed, I've recently had a multi-dimensional makeover. I control space, matter, and now that dumb baby's out of the way, time itself. But I wasn't always this way. Finally, your dimension will be free. Anything will be possible. I'll remake a fun world, a better world. A party that never ends with a host that never dies. No more restrictions, no more laws. You'd be one of us, all powerful, greater than anything you've imagined. And all I need is your help. Well, would you look at that? Those kids really care about you, and you care about them. Don't you? What the? No! No!
People with bipolar disorder, during their manic episodes, they do what they do, but they do it without recognizing their likely harmful or undesirable effects. One of the clips that really stands out to me is the one where Bill's explaining why he's doing what he's doing. And in it, he's saying he's trying to make the world a better place. He's seeing it as this fun place where everyone can party. He feels in charge of everything. He feels in control of everything. So this could be his manic side really speaking out, trying to make the world a better place. He just doesn't recognize that he's being harmful or there will be undesirable effects that are happening. This might partially explain why he gets so genuinely upset when people get in his way. It's because he believes he's genuinely doing the right thing. He doesn't realize that he's hurting people to an extent. And I say those things because it is not just his bipolar disorder at play. I'm going to get into that later, so hang on to your hats. It is, of course, safe to say that this is very much of a stretch here. I don't have a lot of evidence to base this theory off of, because yes, you have this manic episode that's very clear, but what about the depressive state? Looking at depressive traits that happen during these bad slumps, those suffering from a depressive episode feel unable to do even simple things. And I don't think it's that far of a stretch to assume that simple things for Bill would be extra-dimensional travel. He doesn't feel motivated to do that when he's in his depressive state. So why would he visit Earth? Why would he visit our universe if he was in a depressive slump? But doesn't mania and depression have to recur? And if so, Weirdmageddon is only one example of a supposed manic episode. Well, that's where you're wrong, actually.
You think those chains are tight? Imagine living in the second dimension. Flat minds in a flat world with flat dreams. I liberated my dimension, Stanford, and I'm here to liberate yours.
And right there is where we see evidence of another manic episode taking place. Bill felt threatened. His safety, his well-being felt threatened by the way he was living on his home world. And so he took things into his own hands during this manic episode, and in his eyes, he fixed his world. He didn't realize that there were negative repercussions from what he did. In his eyes, he felt that he had made his world a better place, and he did that to protect himself. Now, like I mentioned previously, Bill Cipher's psyche is not just his bipolar disorder. Weirdmageddon and the destruction of his homeworld is not just a result of his bipolar disorder. People with bipolar disorder aren't bad individuals who do types of things like this. Bill looks at his homeworld as a restrictive place full of dullness. There was no life, from what we can tell. Nobody lived meaningful lives from what he could see. He felt restricted by this world he was living in. I think it's safe to say that in Bill's universe, he was sheltered. So I found this website, 10 Signs of a Sheltered Person. Obviously it's just one of those .com websites. Don't know how accurate it is. However, as someone who was sheltered growing up, I can understand a lot of these. So I don't know. For me, it's a little accurate, but that's just based on my own experiences. I don't know for sure. Anyways, number one, they're naive. Bill was probably raised in an environment that caused him to lack a sense of experience or wisdom. So we can see that he is obviously a very intelligent individual, knows a lot of stuff. He's very experienced, but he probably had to learn those things himself. He didn't get that from his home dimension. However, what we can definitely see is this lack of judgment. I think it is incredibly safe to say that because of his upbringing, Bill has no sense of right or wrong. His impaired judgment isn't because of his bipolar. That is very important. People with bipolar, they have great senses of judgment, I'm sure. This lack of judgment is a direct result of being sheltered. Another thing that is not just the bipolar talking. While yes, mood swings are common, they are not that intense, right? Bill gets violent. His emotional immaturity stems from being sheltered. He hasn't developed the ability to regulate his emotions like it states there. So, yeah, he's very emotionally immature, which is why we see him freak out a lot. This last one hurts because it's true. He totally lacks coping mechanisms. When he is introduced to something that gets in his way, he doesn't know how to properly react with it to diffuse the situation. What he has taught himself is violence is the answer. I have to, assert my own dominance to take control so that nothing can get in my way, so that I don't have to try and cope, because I can't cope. I never learned how. I am just now realizing that his issues are my issues. No! What? I kin him, and that is why! Oh, sheltered kids unite. Dang! Anyways, that is that for my psychoanalysis of Bill Cipher. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, if you feel like it, of course, no pressure. I apologize for any weird stutters and stuff like that. When I go on tangents, I tend to do that. It's just my nature. So I apologize. If there is anything, I'm gonna repeat again, if there's anything I got factually incorrect, especially about bipolar disorder, because I understand that is a heavily stereotyped mental illness, please let me know. That is all, besties. Slay all day or night, wherever you are. Love you. Mwah.